Yo, guys, it is Old Man G here, back again with another, last match preview with Red Devils. Oops, sorry, I've got that in the background. Match preview for Red Devil students, the final one of 2020, or for some people, already 2021. So for those of us who are in Australia, or watching board who are now entered into 2021, Happy New Year to you guys. I hope you're enjoying 2021. I'm currently in the UK, so about just under 6 hours from the new year, actually, still in 2020. It's not been the best of years, let's be frank. It's really not. But, from a Manchester United point of view, let's be real. Things are looking positive. And I'm happy, at least one of the positives that you can take from this year, that Manchester United certainly ending the year and certainly ended the year very, very well. So if you're new to the channel, remember to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter, X, and smash that notification button for latest Manchester United news. And just seeing so many guys in the comments. Shout out to Kobe. Thank you for getting involved. Salmon Correa, United is better. I'll get to click these. I think my computer's being a bit slow. I don't know why. United is better than Liverpool. Currently, I would say yes. I was very surprised. We'll talk about it in a second, but I was very surprised by that Newcastle results. They've drawn now to Newcastle, West Brom, and Fulham, all relegation fodder teams, So, it is what it is. Damian Perez, thank you, Chief, for Barcelona subscribing. Grealish masterclass in Old Trafford. Well, we'll see what happens. Grealish was playing for them last season, and I don't think we lost to Villa. We drew 2-2 at Old Trafford, and we went away and beat them 3-0. But but last season when we drew 2-2, Bruno Fernandes wasn't part of the team. And when Bruno Fernandes was part of the team, we beat them 3-0 on their home ground. Now, things have changed, obviously, but like I said, we'll get to the preview in a second. Happy Christian and Viva says, Happy New Year, bro, from India. Thank you. And like I said, I'm going to be doing a end of year review, but that's going to be for Manchester United in general. Starts going to be coming at 9 o'clock UK time. And I'm going to then be doing a pre-recording Happy New Year video just to basically just thank you guys really for all the support over the last year, man. It's greatly appreciated. I'm hoping in 2021 that this community can grow, that this channel can grow, and that we can. I want to be a positive channel. I know that's very, very rare these days. I might do the occasional rant, but I want to be a more of a homely, welcome, positive Manchester United channel that takes into account all views, but tries to stay at least a bit grounded and positive, because I think positivity is what we need going into 2021, not more negativity and rage. So let's just be positive and let's go into 2021 with a good sense of enthusiasm. They did draw KSI, they did. Yasir, thank you, man, for joining, man. Appreciate it, really do. Remember, guys, like the vid if you can. Amendola is coming tomorrow. Do you think he'll be a starter and will he be chucked in onto? I expect that he'll be chucked in the under 23s. But what I would like to see is Daniel James go out on loan, and then Amantro to come in. But what I would like though is let him be in the under 23s for a bit. There's no real reason why he should start for senior right away, in my opinion. Unless, like I said, Daniel James goes out on loan. But last time I checked, I think he wants to fight for his place. There's no real reason why he should come in straight away, in my opinion. Yeah, thank you, Chief. And Rich, thank you, Van. Thank you for being involved. Another guy who started his channel pretty much this year and has been growing from strength to strength. So please, guys, for those who are watching, head over to Rich Sports and subscribe to his channel. He does a lot of amazing work and is supporting me, and I support him, and we support others. So please do that. It'd be greatly appreciated. So before I actually get into this, which I think is going to be, obviously, given what happened to get Newcastle, I thought it'd be important to just quickly cover some semi-breaking news, because it's been known for a while, and that is basically Edinson Cavani's 3-match ban. Obviously, for those who aren't aware, or those who are listening, Edinson Cavani had an Instagram post on a social media where he used a certain term that was deemed offensive, and the FA have basically given a 3-match ban and 100k fine for the social media post in the Spanish race context. I knew this was coming. I actually thought it was going to be more equivalent to a 1-match ban with a fine, given the previous precedents. Like, for example, with what happened with Bernardo Silva, he got a 1-match ban when he joked about his mate being equivalent to a gorilla caricature, which I would have thought would have been deemed offensive. He got a 1-match ban, fine. Cavani did this in a friendly context and is reading the Spanish language, and it was a 3-match ban. But it is what it is. But obviously, the reality of this, I'm not going to really go for the story, the BBC News article, because you guys really kind of know the issue. You know, obviously, Cavani was supposed to be a face-to-face education program. Okay, that's fine. I think the key really from this is he's obviously not going to appeal the ban, because I think the deadline was Monday and they've not appealed it. And, you know, the situation is what it is. There's really nothing else to say. You know, it's a bit of a blow, because, of course, we would have loved Cavani to be here and start. But unfortunately, it is what it is. The only positive really is that really he's only missing one Premier League game, and that is the game against Villa. So the ban comes into effect from essentially tomorrow. So we play Villa. Then obviously we have the City game, the City EFL Cup in the which for me is more of a blow, but we can still beat City without Cavani, as we've done before. And then the following game is Watford in the FA Cup. So an FA Cup game, an EFL game, a Villa game. But the reality is that we can beat those teams without Cavani. We've beaten Watford without Cavani, we've beaten City without Cavani, and we've certainly beaten Villa without Cavani. So he'll basically be back in time for the Burnley game, because I think the Burnley game has been rescheduled. So he'll probably be back in for the Burnley game, and certainly against Liverpool, which for me is more important. The way I sort of see it, even though I think this is obviously, it is what it is that we only have Cavani out for 3 games. Liverpool have Matip out for 3 weeks, so he's going to miss the derby. I think that's probably that's a bigger blow to Liverpool. I'm sorry, get the speakers up. A bigger blow to Liverpool than what's happening to Cavani here. You know, so it is what it is. Let's quickly go for some comments. Thought Cavani would, he got a fine, but he also got the ban as well. I expected a ban. It's just I thought it was going to be maybe 1-2 games. I didn't think it was 3, which is a bit harsh, I would say, because then I'd be curious to see what actual intended racism, what that actually gets. I'd be curious to see what that is. So that basically means he'll miss a single league game. Sucks. He'll miss the semi-finals. Yeah, exactly what I was saying. KSI says 2-0 prediction. It's a disgrace and disgrace, fine, a 3-match ban. At least he's available for the Liverpool game. Well, I mean, it's, for me, the way I saw in my mind is that, like, for me, it was expected. It's not ideal, but it was expected. The positive, at least, is happening now, because at least, as Yasser said, he's going to be missing an FA Cup, a EFL Cup, and a Premier League game. So it's not really going to have that much of an impact on the league, which is where, as I go into this review, I think our priority should be. If I'm perfectly honest, I know a lot of United fans say we're in 4 cup competitions, and a lot of United fans say go for everything, go for everything, go for everything. We could go for everything, but for me, I would focus on the league. We need to get at least some silverware this season. You know, pick one trophy, pick one competition, whether that's Carabao Cup, which we're closer to, or something, and then the league. Don't spread yourself out thin, because it's going to be a crazy season and a lot of games to play. That's my personal opinion. Adage Free says, and shout out to, unless you match Liverpool's goal difference, there's no such thing as a joint top. Well, I mean, joint top in points. I mean, it is what it is. But what I would say as a Manchester United fan though, is that, like, the fact that if United win against Villa, and they'll put them in quote joint top, as well with a game in hand, which is going to be played, puts United obviously in a strong position, especially because I would argue that Liverpool's form recently has actually not been that great, and especially their away form. You know, if you're a Liverpool fan watching this, I'd be a bit worried that your away form just doesn't seem to be that good. But I take your point. But will we win? That's the question. Well, that is the question. Well, let's get on to it then. Let's go on to the preview. Will we win? That is the question. So let's go into the predicted 11 here. Right. Okay. So obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had his press conference today. He talked about, well, first we talked about injuries. So it looks like really the only injuries are to the usuals, the Phil Jones, etc. And there was no word on Lindelof, so it sounds like Victor Lindelof is going to be out. So this pairing of Maguire and Bailly is probably going to be a centre-back pairing, and I think that's good. I know Bailly is injury prone, very, very injury prone, but I do generally like to see or want to see this pairing given some life, given some time, because okay, yes, you could argue that they conceded 2 goals against Leicester, wasn't great, although I wouldn't necessarily blame them solely for the first goal. But the other 2 games, Everton didn't concede, Wolves didn't concede either. It's a solid pairing. And I would like to see this flourish so long as this guy remains fit. We obviously have Twansib on the bench to come in. So the fact that we have Bailly here, and why I think Bailly is such important to this team. Everyone knows I'm a Bailly fanboy, although I get annoyed with the recurrent injuries, is that with Bailly coming into the team, it just means that we can push on. It means that we can push on and go forward. And that's what we're going to need, to be honest, in this game, where I don't think Villa was going to be defensively compact. They certainly don't play that way, although Tyrone Mings is there. But I don't think they're going to be as defensively compact as Wolves were. So it means that we're going to have a bit more space. I anticipate there'll be goals in this game. Just fingers crossed it's from us. You know, the dangers, obviously, from a Manchester United point of view, are going to be likes of Grealish, even Ollie Watkins, that'll be causing like a lot of problems. And I think that if we man mark, I mean, that's why in this team you can see why Fred is in this team. I think Fred coming in this team is very, 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 very important, because Fred, for me, is certainly one of, if not our most important midfielder, one of our most important players, because of his ability, his tenacious ability, his pace, his speed, his tenacity, and his recovery tackles. Basically, just disrupting the flow of the game, which is what we're going to need in this game, because we're going to need someone in this game who can really stop Jack Grealish really doing what he's doing going forward. And given that Ollie also said that we've got a good depth of squad in terms of the midfield up top, we're basically just rotating our midfield. So you're seeing Matic and Pogba play together. You're seeing Tommy and Fred play together, and so on. I would love to see a Matic, Fred, and Fernandes situation, or a a Fred, Pogba, Bruno situation. But it seems that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer seems to be quite content to basically just bring out 2 different midfielders. What I think is a little bit concerning and maybe a bit unfair is just the fact that Donny van der Beek doesn't seem to get a mention, which I think is quite sad. Just look at some of your comments, guys. Adam talk. Yeah, I got that. 2-1 Manchester United is Kobe's prediction. United should win to talks. I'm worried for this game. Why are you worried for this game? I'm not sure why people are worried for this game. We seem to be worried every game. Why are we worried against Villa? Yes, we dropped points. We got a draw against Villa. And although a draw wouldn't be an ideal result, but last season we drew and we beat them 3-0 away. And that was with Tyrone Mings and bits and pieces. So, no, I mean, the only issue for me is with set pieces, but for me, the big difference, like I said, going into this game is Bailly. Because if we have Bailly, we'll be able to press and we'll be able to have the recovery pace to be able to deal with like the quickness of Ollie Watkins, etc., and Fred to deal with the tenacity of it. That's why I would play Tommy and Fred. So long as Victor Lindelof doesn't suddenly magically recover and come to this team, I personally think that we'll be okay. Then, for me, it'll be 1-1. Mason Mount, either you're Mason Mount, because I've got a good friend of mine that doesn't particularly. It's not ideal. Hope you're doing well though, and I hope you're having a good New Year as well. If we contain Grealish, it'll be a W. Yeah, and I've seen Grealish frustrated as well before, several times. So for me, the games like this, against Villa, against Everton, against Southampton, these are the games to me that when we're talking about actually being title challengers, winning those types of games, because fundamentally, you don't have to necessarily beat all the teams in the top 4 or 5. You just have to make sure you don't lose. And right now, the only team we've really lost to in the top 5, we've not really lost anyone to the top 5. If you include top 6 or 7, then you can bring in Spurs. That's it. Everyone else we've either won or we've drawn, and that's actually a good mindset to be in just going forward. It is what it is. So let me just quickly throw in for the team. Obviously, David De Gea is going to be in goal. I wouldn't expect him to put Dean Henderson in. I'd expect Dean Henderson to come in for the FA Cup games against Watford. I'm not sure whether he'll come in against City in the final. I'd be surprised because Solskjaer seems to like to revert to type when he gets to semi-finals. So that didn't exactly work last season. So we'll see what happens. Maybe it might stick. Wan-Bissaka, obviously a right back who I think really needs to improve his positional sense. He's just, the amount of times he keeps on getting done at the near post where he should be marking coming inside. Now that even Bay's playing, you think, okay, he would stop doing that now. But now it's like he's still doing it, which is very, very strange. I've already said about Bay and Maguire, they've got to start play together. Sure, obviously, I think that with Telles playing, with Telles coming off, I assume they'll be doing a similar thing where Shaw will, and especially with Cavani, because I think the whole point, sometimes the good thing about Telles is that his delivery is so good, and then obviously he crosses the ball in, and you've got Cavani, and that works. But I feel that Shaw works a lot better with Rashford, which is why I think our left-hand side is going to be quite dangerous. Our right-hand side is where we're basically, pretty flat, to be honest. As I said, McTominay, Fred in midfield, and then followed by Greenwood, Fernandes, Rashford. I mean, Bruno Fernandes has played pretty much almost every game that we played this season without any rest. Which is, he needs some rest, and hopefully against Watford he'll rest. But this dude, man, he's basically transformed and helped transform this team from a team that were, in 13, 14, goodness knows how many points away, to a team that's basically, let's be real, trying to push for a title challenge. That's what we want to do. That's why we need to win these games. That's why we need to beat Villa. That's why we need to beat Burnley next week. That's why we need to beat Fulham this week. So we have those 3 games are winnable games. If we win all those games, even if we lose or draw to Liverpool, we could still end up potentially being top, because I anticipate Liverpool will drop further points. So let's see what happens. People might say, why is Martial up top? We're bringing a Gallagher. I would still bring in Martial just because of his hold-up players' experience, and this might be a good confidence booster game. So we'll see what happens with that. And Adam Talk says, why Max Aarons? Max Aarons would be good competition for Wan-Bissaka. He's a solid player at Norwich, so I wouldn't mind him. We said Max Aarons and a centre-back in January. I'd say that's been a good January transfer window. A fast-paced centre-back who's good on the ball with Max Aarons. I say that's good because that helps 2 areas. Gives competition to Wan-Bissaka, and also helps at centre-back, given how many injuries we have and our lack of pace. Score predictions as I round up, because I know everyone is busy, because it's New Year's Eve, at least where I am anyway. But Happy New Year again to everyone who is already in 2021. Hopefully 2021, where you're at, is a lot better than 2020. Much better. I think we're going to win this game. Do I think we're going to keep a clean sheet? Yes, actually, I do. With Eric Bay, and I think I'm going to go 2-0 to Manchester United. I'm going to go Bruno goal, and I'm going to go Martial goal as well. I think that, yes, they have Grealish. Yes, they have Mings back. But I just think that we just have enough firepower. It's a shame I said again that Cavani's banned, but even still, we still have enough firepower on the bench. You still got Pogba, you still got Van der Beek. You can bring in a Gala there if you want, although he's not played for a while. But we have enough firepower, I think, to be able to at least get a good result against a Villa side that, while creative and nice and good on the eye and have been doing very well, are still going to give us more space, which should essentially play into our hands. Thanks again for watching, guys, in this brief match preview against Villa. Stay tuned for our end of year review at 9 o'clock. We hope that we'll be joined by a few people, where we're just going to have a brief discussion of the review, positivity generated, etc. But remember, if you're new to the channel, to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter and smash the notification button to the latest Manchester news. Oh, quick comments coming in. Aldrin has gone back to China. Yeah, I think he's gone back to China now, hasn't he? Yeah. If Hader's gone back on loan, he's gone back to China. And Kobe, what do you think of Jules Koundé pacing but good in the air and tackles? Like, yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind. I'm just not sure how available he would be in January. Is my only thing. That's my only thing. But yeah. Have a nice day, everyone. Take care and cheers.